Hello, peace seekers. This is Saniqua White popping in to give you a piece of my mind that will hopefully give you some peace of mind. Before we get started, I want to ask a favor of you. If you will go ahead and subscribe, hit the notification bell so that you will get all the next videos. We will go ahead and jump into, we are still in our series, Coaching the Called, and the survey in which I sent out to my clients as well as some others who are in that called category. And if you don't remember, the people that I am talking about as far as the call will be, yes, in the biblical sense, and specifically creative artists, ministers of the gospel, athletes, and other influencers, especially social media influencers, anyone that you would think of with a platform that has something to say, sell, promote, get you to buy into. Okay, and these are your influencers, and a part of them are also deemed called. Okay, so the survey that I sent out, I asked several questions, and today we are on, I believe, question number 5, and I'm going to combine a couple of the questions again here. So what I'm asking today is, if you are a part of that called group, do you see your gifting, your craft, your calling as a difficult profession to be involved in? When you are doing it as maybe a side hustle or just as a hobby, that's a different story. But when you look at it as far as professionally, like your career or the thing that you do that earns money for you, do you see your calling as a difficult profession to be involved in? I asked that question, of course, of my clients and several other groups and individuals, and I got some varying answers, but the primary answer was yes, that they found it a difficult profession to be involved in. However, the reasons that they found it difficult varied. So some that were surveyed considered it a difficult profession to be involved in because of maybe the number of artists or the way that you break into the industry. That is the difficult part in it, not that what they actually do, that their craft in and of itself is difficult. What they were saying is that breaking into the industry in which their craft operates is difficult. Some of them went on to say that even when you have broken into the industry and you're in, it is difficult to maintain or sustain in the industry. And a lot of issues come up when it pertains to mental health and having your profession, your gifting and your calling as your profession. Some of them have found that getting into the industry wasn't what they thought it was going to be, where they needed to change who they were in order to please either the industry leaders, the market, the fans, the whatever. They found themselves losing themselves within the industry instead of allowing their craft to be able to affect what they did in the industry. That was surprising for me to hear because I guess I just had never thought of it in that manner. It's like you go for your goal, you go for your dream, you break in, you get in, and then you find that it's not what you thought it was going to be. And it's not that they didn't feel like they could make an impact or have an effect on the culture or the whatever. It was just that the politics, if you will, or how things ran or were run within the industry that made things seem so difficult. And a lot of my clients started having, even if they didn't have mental health issues previous to breaking into whatever their specific industries were or are, they began having mental struggles in dealing with how the industry operates and how they were being asked to change or modify or adjust how they operated in their gifts in order to maintain and sustain in the industry. Another difficult part was mentioned in the survey about whether your craft is difficult to operate in your craft as your profession, is that you have people who will say negative things about what you're doing, and I'm going to talk about that a little bit more in a different video. But just the onslaught of insults or criticisms or critiques or different things from friends, family members, whoever, made it difficult or makes it difficult for some of the call to operate like they would prefer to operate in their craft or in their calling as a profession. And even if, let's say, your profession is not, you're operating in your craft, but it's not on a specific platform where there are fans. Maybe you're operating in your gift as a part of your job. Now you have bosses and managers and directors and CEOs and such influencing your craft because they want it like they want it and not exactly how you would operate in it if you were doing it, if it were up to you. And especially for my clients and others who are of the Christian faith, it has been a difficult twist for them and the calling and their profession, because some of the things that they're asked to do either in the industry or in the workplace would be morally against their belief system to do. That is likely the more difficult thing in your career or your profession, where the world is having so much of an influence on what your gifting and calling is. Now remember, your gifting, your craft, your calling, it's a God-given gift. And now you're finding yourself being asked to go against what God would have you to do in order to operate in your gifting and calling in the industry or the marketplace or wherever you're trying to operate it in. And so that causes not only mental distress and a mental battle, but it also causes a spiritual issue for many who are of faith. And so what I'm asking you today, if you're watching this video, is to answer the question: do you find it difficult to operate in your gifting as a profession, and why? Why are you finding it difficult? Or even if you're not operating in it currently, what are you thinking that would be the difficulties that you would find? Because if you can answer this question, you can find the ways and the opportunities to avoid some of the things that would make it more difficult for you. Some of the people didn't have a choice. They walked into it unknowingly, not really knowing what to expect. But the reason why I'm doing this survey and working with my clients in this way, I am gathering research so that if at all possible, in any type of way, if I can help my clients and you, even though you may not be a client, to find the route, the better route to take, so that you don't run into the difficulties that you're already either thinking about or possibly encountering at this time. So I hope this question and this video is helpful for you. If it is, give it a thumbs up. Remember to subscribe and hit the notification bell so you'll get the next set of videos that I'm going to do for you. If you'd like to comment, I would absolutely love to hear from you. And if there's a question that I can answer, please drop that into the comments. I will be back soon with more, but until then, be proactive about your mental health. Be well, and God bless.